guys, this is Jewel coming to you from the wonderful world of the Reborn Doll community. I want to welcome everyone who is not familiar with my channel. My name is Jewel Montgomery. I am a Reborn Doll YouTuber. I actually participate in making videos, and I enjoy collecting. I am an amateur painter myself, so most of the dolls in the nursery have been painted by me, and by painted I mean attempted painted by me. And I have two dolls that I received at the Rose Doll Show this year. That was my first time going. I was so excited. I cried when I purchased my first artist completed Reborn Doll. It was very emotional for me. It was all that I hoped that it was to be. I was not disappointed at all, by no means. I met so many people there, and I just can't wait to get back. I had such a wonderful time. So today I'm coming to you to try to explain why the videos have been so sporadic and why I have such a difficult time getting to the camera to make as many videos as I like. If you are a woman and you're living and breathing, you know that life can just throw you. If you're a single mom, even of adults, my children are all grown except my last is 14 years old and pretty much self-dependent. Life can just throw you loops. Your grown children are still your children, and when they need or require, you can't just sit back and say you're grown and I can't help you. So that's been the turmoil lately, is that my household is now back to being full of kids. So that's really interrupted my ability to make videos, and why you haven't seen me. It's even interrupted my ability to make changes in my doll room, to craft in my craft room, to paint, to do a lot of what I like to do. This year, I think it was in February, because it was around Mardi Gras, I was unable to mentally deal with the situation in the house. I'm recently married. On Monday will be my 2-year anniversary, and I want things to go back to the way they were before my husband and I decided to get married. We were living together, and we wanted to make sure that we knew each other well. Let's just put it that way. So we waited a year or so to get married. We've been knowing each other for 5 years now. So we wanted, or we planned or we imagined in our head this wonderful life of the two of us just soaking up time together and soaking up each other as newlyweds. But like I said, if you're a parent, you're a parent. So my household became full again, and I'm such a caregiver that it took me away from the camera, and it took me away from my hobby. Literally going to the doll show was the only time that I really had the opportunity to breathe in, my hobby. And I don't regret it, because I feel that your kids are always your kids, and when they cry for help, you're supposed to be there to lift them up and wipe away all the tears. And so I don't regret that at all. And I knew it was only for a season. I knew this wasn't a permanent thing. So I also took, comfort in that. Things have moved on well, and so now it's back to simply my husband and I and a 14-year-old in the house. So I hope that I can get back to making videos more frequently than I've been doing. It is truly my goal to be a true YouTuber, to put videos out there, to share with you guys. That's just what I want to do. I started to tell you, but I eased back off of the fact that in February, everything was just too much for me. I see a lot of people produce videos about depression, and so now I feel like I don't have to hide under any cover or pull an umbrella over my head to let you know that I suffer with depression. I was hospitalized for 21 days during February at a mental hospital, hoping and seeking that they could stabilize me and find me a way to get through times when I find them to be so difficult. At that point, I thought I no longer needed to be here. Everybody's grown. They need to take care of themselves, and they're not allowing me to take care of me. And outside of being newlywed, I felt that there was no reason for me to stay here. Everybody is grown, and I made my 14-year-old totally independent. I don't need to stay here in this turmoil of life. And I told my husband that every time I passed over the Crescent City connection, which is a bridge in our town, transferring you from New Orleans to the second half of New Orleans, which is called the West Bank. Every time I pass that bridge, dropping my granddaughter off, on the way back, I'm in the car by myself. And I'm always thinking, right before the bridge, how easy would it be to pull your car over, open the door, and just run and jump? And he said after I told him that, I continued to babble with things that didn't make any sense. He called for help, and they sent an ambulance to the house. And under true distress, they took me to the hospital. Most of the people there were spending about, 3-4 days in the hospital, and then, they were gone. Even if they were there for the first time dealing with their breakdowns or their suicidal issues, they were 3 or 4 days and they were gone. So every time we did group, everybody was trying to figure out, how do you spend 9, 10, 17, 18, 21? How do you spend that much time in here because you think you have problems that you can't solve on the outside? I'm 51 years old. I knew what I needed. I knew there was no point in me going home in 5 days or even 7 days or even 10 days, and I hadn't resolved how to deal with this depression. I played around with medications. I'm an RN, and I didn't want to leave there and not have the correct regimen to keep me from going back there. So that's typically what took past the 10 days, let's say the first 10 days. The other 11 or 12 days was because we couldn't get the medicines right. I wasn't feeling better yet. And the last 2 days I spent there, the doctor I was seeing wanted to truly make sure that the regimen that he and I collaborated on and put together, I'm not taking that, no, I'm not taking this, I'll take that, but I ain't taking this. That's how that went. In the last 2 days, he made me stay because he really wanted to see me, talk with me, conversate with me, just babble with me to see where my mindset was and if I was truly ready to go. He would have liked for me to stay another 2 or 3 days, but my husband said, that's it. She's much better. She's back to the jewel that I love and I'm married, and I want my wife home. So I came home. Things have been going really, really well. I am on high doses of antidepressants, but if we taper them down, I have the likelihood of returning to that state of, suicide. or just a deep depression, and I don't want that. So, I don't know, I guess I'm saying all this to say that people have challenges in life. And even as we're older and we look like we're handling it, sometimes we're not handling it. You know, sometimes we need to say, no, I can't do that. Or no, you can't bring the kids over. Or no, I don't have $100 to loan you. I'm learning to say no. I'm learning to say I can't do that. I'm learning to say I need time for me. I'm learning to say I can't loan you any money because loan money becomes gifted money. And I am saving for my next trip to the Rose Doll Show. So, my family and my friends are now understanding that when I say I can't, I'm talking about mentally and physically I can't. I'm not just talking about the tangent, the things you can touch, and I'm saying no. I'm talking for my mental health. I can't do that for you anymore. And my God, has it been hard to say no. When Jewel is always the one that's saying yes, okay, and I'll find the money if I don't have it. But that has changed. It has. I'm crawling out of that shell, and I'm making life more about myself. I owe that to myself. I raised my kids, and coming up, we had hard times. But by the time they were able to ask for things and want for things, we were in a better place. And so, typically, no was never said. For instance, my daughter, my oldest daughter she thought she wanted to play the piano. So we went out, her dad and I, and bought a Casio 350 or whatever it was. That was $300. We bought the stand. That was another $100. She wanted the swirl chair. That was another $100. All because she was going to play the piano. I guess about 3 or 4 months later, she didn't want that. And now she was going to be a photographer. And she needed a good camera. So we went out and spent probably $450 on a camera. Then she needed the camera bag. Then she needed the lens wipers. And, you know, you can't wipe it with just anything. You have to wipe the lens with these protective wipers. And SCD cards, and, you know, just SD cards everywhere. We needed that. We needed a tripod. You know, we needed that. And so I did that. And every few months it was something else. But I never said no, because it's so hard to invest in your kids or not invest in your kids and miss their opportunity to be something spectacular. Maybe she was going to be a good photographer, a videographer. Maybe she was. But I wouldn't know that if I didn't invest in her. So I've invested in my kids greatly. And they can't say that they came from a house or a home or their family was not supportive. Their dad has passed on now. And even though we were divorced and both remarried, it was still hard when he passed. You know, and now I am a single parent. So, for me, that's even more difficult, because I could always at least share that with my ex-husband or have him take over. Look, I can't do this right now. Run to your dad. Well, there's no more run to your dad. So now I'm the mom and the dad. I'm the sole parent right now. And so that's new for me too. And I think if I hadn't gone through that trial of suicide or attempted suicide, I wouldn't be able to add that to my plate, his death to my plate, because that's recent. and not fall down. So I know that God does everything for a reason. He knew I wasn't going to ever see myself, or I was declining on taking care of myself, because Jewel is the caregiver. She cares for everyone. If you need something, I'm there. I live on a street where on the right side of the street is all residential, and on the left side is all apartments. And I'm not talking about nice apartments. But whenever anybody from across the street needs anything, whether they personally know me or not, they knock on my door. They know my name. Miss Jewel, you have a screwdriver? Can I borrow it? I'll bring it back. Miss Jewel, you have any sugar? Can I get a bag of sugar? Huh? Yeah. Because they know I'm going to say yes. And those things I don't mind at all, because I've been there. I've truly been there. When my kids were little, it was definitely a struggle. So I get it. But at the same time, my new claim for myself is that I take care of me. Because if I don't take care of me, there's no way I can be the caregiver that I've been all my life. And so taking care of me incorporates me doing what makes me happy and fulfilled. And you guys do that. The Reborn Doll community does that. I don't pay attention to the strife that's going on in the community, because that's not for me. I don't feed into that, because that'll take me to a dark place. But the videos that are happy and upbeat and people showing all their wonderful and beautiful babies, I hold on to that. It's a release for me. And creating babies is definitely a release for me, whether they're cute or not. I love every doll that I make, every boo-boo baby that I make. It doesn't matter to me, because it's a creation that I did that. And so that makes me happy. So in saying all that, I want to tell you to watch your friends and watch your family when they look like they're just sad and down and taking just too much. Because we really try to hide depression from you guys. We really do. Nobody walks around the house saying, I'm depressed and I need medication. I'm depressed and I need to go to the mental hospital for some time. We don't do that. Most of us get to the mental hospital by the way I got there. You're so lost that you voiced a suicide attempt and didn't even realize that you voiced it, that you actually said that in front of someone. So let's take care of each other. Not just physically. Don't just do the physical take care. Sit down, talk to your family members. Talk to your friends. See if they're okay. See if they're in a good space. Here. See if they're in a good space here. That's all I want to say, guys. I want to tell you how much I love you. All those who have subscribed, thank you so much. I'm not concerned about numbers. I'm concerned about those people who enjoy the hobby as much as I enjoy the hobby. Subscribing. I don't need numbers. I don't need a YouTube plaque. For those who have it, great. And I wish, by all means, I could have one, but I don't need one. I need you guys to keep doing what you're doing. That's my plaque right there. When you guys respond to my videos and you comment to my videos and you give me a like, I get a plaque every time you do that. Because I don't need the physical. I need the mental. So on that note, I'm going to say goodbye because it's a 20-minute video. I hope you guys stay tuned. I hope you listen to what I said. And for those of you who are subscribed, I thank you so much. For those of you who watch my videos, I thank you so much. And I want you guys to take care in the reborn world. Goodbye, guys.